All right, guys, so this is a morning video that I'm doing for people who have the Ludo Ultra from Apollo, and they're having erratic performance issues, like the scooter wants to pull like crazy for a couple of pulls, and after that it starts to tone down and it's having a hard time reaching higher speeds. If you're not logging your ride with the Stormcore application, I suggest that you do so, and probably what you're gonna see is the same issue that I have had with mine initially when Apollo shipped it to me. So basically what they use to connect to put the controller in place in the deck, okay, is the original thermal pad that comes with the normal controller. So basically you can see here that the X controller, which is this brick here, was being set on the deck with this pad, and it was being held in place with this pad. So didn't even work that well on the stock controller to keep the heat out of the controller, but you know, it held the stuff in place. So anyways, so they use this and they set it on the deck, and they put the controller on the deck on this, and it's kind of sticky, so it holds the controller in place. The problem is that it's not super efficient at transferring heat from the controller to the deck. So what ends up happening is that you get heat soaking. So it comes to a point where the hot air inside the compartment here, heated up by the controller, cannot cool the controller down, and the controller cannot send the hot air or the temperature, it cannot send it to the deck fast enough, because this starts to act like an isolation barrier instead of transferring the heat to the metal portion of the scooter, which is what it's supposed to do. So how do you fix this? Actually, it's a very simple fix. So there's thermal tape, Amazon. So this is double-sided thermal tape. As you can see, it's very thin. Okay, so you can see here, if the camera will focus, that it's a very, very thin tape. So we will replace this. Well, actually, I've already done it, but we replace this with this. Okay, so the idea is that you only need to stick the metal part. You don't need to stick the plastic part, just the metal part. Okay, you clean the both surfaces with rubbing alcohol. There is some debris inside the deck from the manufacturing, so it's important that you have nothing. The tape is very, very thin, so as soon as you have something between the deck and the controller, it's not going to be able to mate the surfaces correctly, and you're still going to have that overheating issue. So clean the surfaces with rubbing alcohol, both surfaces, let it dry, install the tape on the controller first, and then heat the deck with a heat gun or a blow dryer if you don't have a heat gun. But just basically make sure that the deck is hot to the touch, not burning, and be careful to not, you know, affect any wires or nothing like that. So you have to be careful about that. Also be careful when you're moving the Stormcore around not to break any wires from the connectors. Okay, they are very small wires, so these can break easily if you pull on them or if you nudge them or something like that, so you have to be careful. And basically you just set the controller in its spot here. So this is where I installed it. I also installed an extra heat shield on there just to help a bit. Not sure if it does anything, but you know, I had them, so why not. And that's it. So for people that are curious, this is my converter for the lights with the relay. That's another video I'll do at some point. But for the moment, people that have the Ludo and have performance issue with it or overheating issues with it, this is how you solve it. So I've been running this for, I have around 250 kilometers with it installed like this, no issues. And I went on a racetrack, F1 track with it, and I did 87 kilometers top speed, sustained for about 6-7 seconds, with regen braking at the end of the curve to turn. and it has not gone over 76 degrees Celsius with a temperature outside of 20 degrees Celsius. So and for normal riding, it will be between 35 degrees Celsius to 45 degrees Celsius if I'm not trying to beat world records of top speed. So this solution seems to work. We'll see when the weather gets even hotter. Right now and starting to be windy and cold, so I'm not going to be able to test that right away. We'll see next summer, and if next summer it's not enough, then maybe we will thread the controller directly into the deck using the holes for the bolts and stuff like that. So we'll see. But for the moment, and for most people, and most if you're just riding it and you're not trying to beat world records non-stop, this should do the trick. It's not expensive to do, it's not super hard to do, you just have to be careful about the wires, and that will basically fix the issue that you have with your controller overheating. And that's it. So hope it helps a couple of people, and if you have any questions, you can always message me. Thank you.